Just waiting for some people to come in. Right? What's up? We just wait for some people coming in and then they can start sharing. Oh boy, good morning everybody. This is getting a little ridiculous now. I mean, it's obvious. It is absolutely obvious what the bank is doing through the instructions of Ernesto Chu and whoever else is instructing the bank. So I posted an extremely lengthy issue about matters that took place between December 31st to probably a week and a half ago, whereby I finally said, you know what, take it out of hold from my account and send it back to Golden Rock. The money, forget about that. In the post I did earlier today, I didn't highlight the bank name. That's because I had I would say a significant amount of money in the bank account, which I was trying to get transferred over to the United States of America, where I currently am. Let you guys put it into context a little bit. I can let that sit there for a second. Yes, I said that. Where I am in the United States of America. So what? Let me explain something. I've had a banking relationship with Demerara Bank for a very long time. I've had a credit card with Demerara Bank for a while as well. I have first-hand information that the CEO of Demerara Bank, when people use their debit cards with Demerara Bank and credit cards with Demerara Bank, the location of the transaction is known. I know that for a fact. And Ernesto knows I know that for a fact. That's the level of stalking he goes through. So what Demerara Bank did today, following possibly alleged instructions from Ernesto Chu, after I made a post about what I endured from money getting into my account, right? This is happening live. This is happening now. This is happening literally now. So $1.1 million was placed in my account. I reported it to the CEO of the bank, Daulat Parbu, directly on WhatsApp. I have emails from start to finish saying, what the hell going on? All they wanted me to do was give the bank directions to take it out of the account, take my money, take the money that Golden Rock allegedly placed in the account and put it back into Golden Rock's account. All I wanted was an explanation as to how it happened in the first place. Because what I assume happened is that it was done by mistake, right? But then Golden Rock said, nobody from the company did it, Devin. It doesn't make sense because you have to have a certain amount of passwords and all kind of different things to gain access to corporate banking for Demerara Bank. So I can't do it. I don't have the password, and I think more than one people need to get access. Anyways, the CEO of Demerara Bank would have told me who the user was, what time the transaction was done, 12:06 a.m. in the morning or something like that. But that wasn't enough for me because Golden Rock still didn't accept liability for it. They didn't accept any wrong. A month went on, about 100 emails exchanged between myself and Demerara Bank, the CEO and the operations manager. After my frustration, I forwarded all of the communication to the software provider for the bank, Highgate, and I brought it to the attention of the board of directors of Demerara Bank. And none of them have responded, and I wonder why. So we still don't know how that money magically appeared in my account, which they probably assumed I would use. If they wanted me to use money, at least give me something a little better than 1.1. That's not even my salary a month. You got to do better than that. Give me like 100 million or something, idiots. Now, today happens. I'm still waiting for my US account to receive money sent from my Demerara bank account that was initiated by me about a week ago. But the frustrations come in. And I say, you know what, let me just do this article because I get real busy today. I can be on the go from today. So let me tell you what these fucking idiots did. Right? So the CEO of Demerara Bank allegedly would have given instructions that I have a Visa credit card with Demerara Bank. And about a sum of 3 million was owed on it. Every month I would pay about either the minimum or a 2 or a 3 or 400,000 on the account. All of a sudden today, after I posted the article about the banking system in Guyana and didn't name Demerara Bank as the bank in question, they went into my account and they placed on hold. They placed on hold the sum of $3 million, which I have commented under one of my posts on hold. Not on hold, some other comment. The point of the matter is I don't have access to those funds. And I'm going to say something just now. Everything I've done is calculated. Getting rid of my Demerara Bank card and not having access to my own card means I cannot use it at the ATM in the United States of America. Which would mean they would not ever be able to use the banking system to know where I am. I left my Visa credit card in Guyana. So both of those cards are out of my hands. Because I'm not stupid, guys. I know what you've done before. I know the crimes you have committed before. I know the statements you're going to try to come out with after this. But nobody has been brave enough. Nobody has been brave enough to come forward and state bluntly the rubbish Demerara Bank is doing, the rubbish Ernesto Chu is initiating in that country. It is dangerous. These men have access to our funds. They can dictate to the CEO of Demerara Bank what to do with somebody's personal banking account. What they did today was stupid. Because if they think that I absolutely need 25 or 30,000 that was being transferred to the United States of America to my accounts over here, they are wrong. In no shape or form or way, shape or form am I desperate for money from my own bank account. Right? I have prepared for you all for a long time. I have prepared for you idiots in Guyana for a very long time. So let me tell you how I prepared again. I left my Visa credit card in Guyana. I came to the US with my Visa debit card from Demerara Bank. Both of those cards have been disposed of. I don't want access to them. But I did want access to my bank accounts to see how manipulative the banking sector could get, so I could let the entire world know what Demerara Bank has been up to. And I'm not scared to come forward and state the crimes. This is financial terrorism. Placing money in somebody's bank account and lying. The first instance I'm talking about, or the first issue, that money sitting in my bank account on hold because I cannot get a proper explanation as how the money got there in the first place. Because Golden Rock didn't send the money. The bank said Golden Rock sent the money, and then I have to accept that as the final explanation and reverse the transaction? No, I had that money placed on hold until I got a proper explanation. Then the CEO of Demerara Bank and me were messaging the other day because he wanted to discuss the issue, and he was being a bully because he wanted to state the time and the day we would speak. No fuck face. We speak when I want to speak from now on. Alright, now I'm talking to you, Daulat. You are such a scamp, and I knew this from 2021 when I met you. Because back then I was working with a Trinidadian company, and every time I had to do something, Ernesto would send me straight to the head of credit at the time, Daulat Parabu. How did you get the position that you're sitting at right now? It's because of Ernesto Chu. Not anybody else. It's because of the power they have. And they need people like you to do all the shit that's going on in the banking system. You are a terrorist in ways, sir. Because financial terrorism is a crime. And withholding sums from people deliberately because you're the CEO of a bank and you're receiving instructions from people like Ernesto Chu is totally wrong. Absolutely and totally wrong. And all the evidence is going to be presented today. I am going to release all of the email threads between you and myself on all of the WhatsApp chats that we had from December 31st to today. You don't have 2 feet to stand on when I'm done with you. And then the whole world. We're not talking about the banking system in Guyana, the Bank of Guyana and the governor and so on. We're not talking about them. I don't know who's compromised from who is not compromised. I don't know. But what I do know is that you are putting people's lives in danger. You're putting people's financial careers in jeopardy. Because all of them, all of the people that you give instructions to at Demerara Bank to place on hold $3 million from my account and coming up with a reason that, okay, well, Devin owes this amount on his credit card. Well, sir, I had more than a sufficient amount of money inside my savings account to pay exactly what I was paying on a monthly basis since that credit card was open. So what difference? What is the difference today whereby $3 million is being put on hold? Is it because you guys think you're suffocating me of receiving funding or funds? This whole situation was to prove a point. And the point you just proved, you idiots. It's like you fall into every fucking thing I said for you all. Demerara bank cards were not going to be used or utilized in the United States of America, sir. My Visa debit card and my Visa credit card attached to Demerara Bank would have never been used. So you fell straight into the trap by withholding funding from Guyana to America. That's the first thing that you did. And the second thing that you did, the second crime that you committed, is putting on hold $3 million, which should not have been put on hold. But you're going to come up with all fancy things. You're going to come up with all fancy language stating that there was a danger to the bank and that you didn't know if you would be able to get the amount for the credit card paid off. All kind of shit you can come up with. But you're wrong. Demerara Bank. To the people that bank with Demerara Bank, your confidentiality is at risk. Your funds are at risk. Because if this could happen to me, anyone that has any small issue with certain people in the government and attached to the government, this is what could happen to you. I'm a prime live example. Prime live example of the corruption taking place in the banking system in Guyana. And the only bank I can mention at this current time is Demerara Bank. And you know something? If I was to name all the other banks, I would state that they don't do anything that is corrupt, because it is difficult to approach the head of all these banking systems. If you approach Banks DIH, they would tell Ernesto to fuck himself. If I know the people well enough at GBTI, they would tell Ernesto Chu to fuck off. Bank of Baroda, Indian Bank, Republic Bank don't even play. Scotia Bank, I don't think so. Because he don't like the country manager for Scotiabank at all. And that's their reasons for that. All these things I know. But I actually adore that woman. The only problem is Demerara Bank. What are you doing to your clients? They ain't got no money laundering that takes place from my bank account, sir. None. None. They ain't got no kind of financial transactions that could be questioned from my bank account. All I do is pay my bills, pay my tabs, and travel a little bit. No money and leaving my bank account to go to China or the Middle East or the Caribbean for questionable things. Although I've heard, and I don't know if it's true because of the source, I've heard that my name was used for Chinese transactions. That's yet to be proven to me. What has been proven to me today is that Demerara Bank is a scam bank run by criminals. Daulat Parbu. The international community is now watching. And they've been watching you for a very, very long time. They've been watching how you live. They've been watching your associates. They've been watching who you give loans to and who you don't give loans to. They've been watching every single thing that you do, sir. And to the board of directors of Demerara Bank, I know you guys probably don't know the severity of the actions of your CEO, but y'all should make that asshole resign. Because now the people have first-hand knowledge of what takes place at Demerara Bank. And to anybody that got money in Demerara Bank, get your fucking money out of there. I said so. Because if it happened to me, it can happen to anybody. Just because it didn't happen to you yet means you probably didn't step on somebody's feet. But I step on an army of people's feet. And I did it just to skin this cunt up. Daulat Parbu and Ernesto Chu, original scamp men. Daulat, I can make this clear to you now, buddy. You cannot, or you should not, give instructions to people like the operations manager to send me ludicrous emails. When she herself knows, when she was on a phone call with me, she was more confused than anything. But when she sends an email to me, you get to see the email. So she has to maintain a certain demeanor. But the minute she calls me, the minute somebody like the operations manager for Demerara Bank calls me, she's concerned. So let's just put it all into context now. Golden Rock did not send the money to my bank account. Demerara Bank said Golden Rock sent the money to my bank account. There's no closure on that issue. There's a series of emails in an email thread between myself and Demerara Bank. How that money arrived in my bank account is beyond me. The CEO of Demerara Bank, what you have instructed to be done today, to put $3 million from my personal savings account on hold, and you're going to find a reason that is possibly a part of your policies to do so. But it's not going to work, because now the whole of Guyana knows that you do whatever it is that Ernesto tells you to do. What you have done to yourself, your credibility as a person, your credibility as a business person, an associate, somebody that people trust in Guyana to bank with, it is beyond comprehension, understanding how you could be so stupid. I understand that money can pay for anything, But when it comes to the security and safety of customers' information, there are clauses included when you're banking, and confidentiality is one of the most important things. Ernesto Chu or nobody else should know all of the businesses in Guyana's financial standing. But he knows. And I know he knows. And I can prove he knows. But a little fish like me, they think that putting $3 million on hold from my bank account means I don't have access to cash. They think that they're going to force me to use my credit card or debit card. I don't have them, sirs. And you fall directly into the other trap I set for you all, in thinking you could force me to use my card so that you could use or you could find out my locations. You are criminals, buddy. Y'all ain't find my location out like that. I'd rather send my location to you directly. Ernesto, why don't you grow a pair of balls and unblock me? And then I want to send you my exact location so that you could shit yourself. Because if you knew exactly where I was, that's exactly what you would do. Shit yourself. You little faggot. You think that you could move mountains and you could get the world to do any and everything to suit you? You think you can manipulate every single system in the world because of the power and authority that you think you have? That power and authority is going to gradually be stripped from you. Just look and see how this plays out. Because after I posted that first issue where I did not name Demerara Bank, it was not surprising to me that the bank placed on hold $3 million. You fell into the trap, buddy. And now because of those actions, Demerara Bank is going to fail miserably as a bank. All the profits that they recorded earlier this year, no longer are people going to be willing to invest their money in a bank which could literally create so much mischief with just one little person like me. Imagine what they could do to businesses that come into Guyana. And Ernesto has a problem with those businesses. Imagine what can happen to their money. Imagine the businesses and people that Ernesto does not like, that go for a loan. And trust me, there are many people I know that go for personal loans, home loans, and business loans that are turned down because Ernesto does not want those people to do well. So Ernesto, you think you were affecting me in any way? Buddy, you just literally did the one thing I was waiting for you to do, so I could bring down a banking sector because of you and your selfish needs. You piece of shit. I invite you, I literally invite you, and Daulat. Daulat, who the hell you think you're talking to the other day? I messaged you concerning this issue, and I told you that you were dragging your feet on the issue. And you told me I should check myself? Well, buddy, I have checked myself. I think you should check your pants, because it got about amount of shit that Ernesto got in you own, probably then you own right now. If the board of directors of Demerara Bank have an ounce of integrity, I say this one more time. If the board of directors of Demerara Bank have an ounce of integrity, they will call for the immediate resignation of the CEO of Demerara Bank. Because I personally will leak all of the information that I know about Demerara Bank and Ernesto Chu's personal relationship. From the time that he was the head of credit to now that when he sits as the CEO of Demerara Bank. You want me to tell you about the last instance where a company, China Railway Shanghai Engineering Group, was instructed not to bank with Demerara Bank. Right? Not to bank with them. So they went to another bank in the city. I told Ernesto about this. Costs? I get costs. The company get costs. How is that my fault? He wanted them to go to Demerara Bank. Ask yourselves why, everybody. Demerara Bank is not a safe bank. And I invite everybody to change banks now. Now. I'm not saying this in my own good. They could fuck all with my money, to be honest with you. Right? I've been smart. I've been calculated. So I have money to last me years in the United States of America. It's not about money for me. It is about the practices of these idiots and how they fall straight in. They fall directly in to the trap set for them. That's all I want to talk about now. I gotta get going. What time is it? Yeah, I gotta get going. Do with this information as you wish. But Demerara Bank, you're fucked up. Bye, guys.